time to only do one exercise, it's going to be the Turkish Get Up. Why? Because it builds total body strength. It teaches your body to work better together as a unit. And for that reason, it's an excellent exercise to start off your workout to get everything engaged and on board. It's also a great way to get connected to your body, so you can actually use it as a way to determine if you have asymmetries, where you have better strength on one side or better mobility on one side than the other, and you get to work that and improve that through the Turkish Get Up. The Turkish Get Up also is excellent for building slow strength, which is an important component of being an athlete. To have that strength, it takes away any momentum. It works out and discovers, magnifies all the imbalances of strength throughout the range of motion. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take you through the exercise step by step. It's a very complex move when you're first learning it, but as you get through it, and you practice more and more, it becomes more second nature. But it is important in the very beginning to take your time and work each component, because each component actually sets you up to do the next step even better. To get into position, I'm going to have you lie on your side. Okay, so the positioning is important even to start. So as you can see, I'm lying directly on my side. My spine is straight. I'm going to grab that kettlebell. I'm going to put my bottom arm underneath. Top hand goes over top. I'm going to pull my elbows in towards my rib cage. Now what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to use a roll onto my back to engage the core. And that's important because you're taking advantage of every opportunity to build strength. But before we go, I want you to use this position here to keep a straight wrist. I want you to get your wrist in this position, make sure it's not bent so it's straight. And once you start off in that way, it's easier to keep that throughout the exercise, which is what I want you to do. So watch me as I roll onto my side, onto my back. My knees and the kettlebell are gonna leave the ground at the same time, and that's how I know my whole body's working better together. So I'm gonna take a breath in, and on the exhale, I'm gonna roll onto my back, feet are flat. I'm pressing that kettlebell up with both hands right over my chest. From here, I'm gonna take my right arm, I'm gonna bring it down so it's at a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to straighten that same side leg. So they're out about almost at the same angle. Once you're on your back and you have the arm locked out, the wrist straight, now you're ready for the next step. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the bent knee foot to drive your body over to the right so you end up onto the forearm. So I'm rooting this foot down and I'm pushing myself over until I end up onto the forearm. So you'll notice from here that my arm is perpendicular. I'm gonna keep that perpendicular. So from this down position up onto the forearm, this is gonna stay perpendicular, just like that. Now from there, you're gonna take that bottom arm, you're gonna straighten that elbow. Keep your eyes on the kettlebell as you press your hips up, and you're gonna loop this leg through. So you're on one knee, and you're gonna come into this lunge position. You're gonna rotate that back foot, and then from here, you're gonna use that front leg to stand straight up, and then step back down, and you're just gonna reverse the move. Keep your eye on the kettlebell as you go straight to the side. Press your hips up so you can loop that leg through. Slow and controlled down onto the forearm, and then slow and controlled onto your back. To bring it down, you're going to take your opposite hand, put it on top, bend the knee, bring it down to your chest, and then you're going to roll onto your side in the same way that you came up. Now to switch sides, instead of trying to flip it over your head, you're actually going to keep it on the ground. You're going to drag it on the ground and twist to the other side and repeat the same steps. Where the bottom arm is underneath the kettlebell, top arm is right on top, the top hand is on top. I got my wrist straight. From here, I'm going to lock my body together. The kettlebell and my knees are going to leave the ground at the same time as I roll onto my back. Press up. Okay, from here, arm goes down at 45 degrees, the same side leg straightens out. elbows locked, wrists is straight. So I'm good to go from here. So now that I'm in this set position, I'm gonna use the bent knee foot to push myself over to the left. So I'm rooting this foot down, and I'm gonna look to my left as I come up. So once I'm onto my forearm, now I'm gonna straighten the arm out, keep the top arm perpendicular to the ground. I'm gonna press my hips up using my glutes and my core. I'm gonna loop that leg through onto my knee, at the same time keeping this arm perpendicular to the ground. Rotate that back foot out. From here, I'm gonna use that front leg to stand straight up. And then I'm just gonna reverse. As I go down, I'm gonna keep my eye on the kettlebell, keep it perpendicular, loop that leg through, come down slow and controlled, down onto the forearm, and then slowly decelerate onto your back. Bend the knee, take that top hand, that opposite hand, place it on top, pull it down to your chest, and then you're gonna roll over onto your side. For the Turkish Get Up, I recommend starting off with a very light weight. Even better yet, start off with taking your shoe and put the sole of your shoe right on the top of your hand and balance that, and that will give you a very good feedback mechanism to make sure that your arm is staying perpendicular. And if you really want to get daring, you can take a cup of water and put it right on top of your fist and balance that, and that will definitely keep you focused.